Watch what's approaching, the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead, it's for the taking if you want it. If not, the dream dies and you'll be forever haunted. Then confront it.
What's good, and welcome back to another showcase. We're a little bit on a roll when it comes to showcasing some of the troll obscure units at 100% potential with max level links. This is no different. This is basically the free-to-play intelligence type Grand Supreme Kai / Heart of Gold. And to be honest with you, it's not worth it whatsoever to go through the link level grinds, but because of that, this is why the channel exists, and I think you guys get entertained to a certain degree when it comes to this type of content. So we'll talk about the stats and details here in a second, but in the pop quiz for the last video, I did include the following guys actually got the correct answer all in the same minute. So shout out to Rochambeau, the Frog, and Nico for getting the right answer, which was Bubbles and Gregory. I think for this one, let's make it a little bit interesting. What was the Labrador Retriever's name that was saved by Hercule and Majin Buu during the whole Majin Buu saga? So for the ones that got that right first, I'll include you on the next video as a shout out. So good luck, and we'll see what the comments are. Okay, so transitioning back to the free-to-play Grand Supreme Kai. The following the stats: leader skills, damage received reduced by 20%. That is a leader skill, so unfortunately that's not really a passive or anything. In terms of the super attack, it's just honestly pretty trash. Causes extreme damage and lowers defense. The lowering defense could be beneficial, but the extreme damage multiplier is pretty horrendous, and you will see that reflected in the showcase here. The passive skill is HP recovery of 2,000 per intelligence key sphere obtained, so I mean decent functionality with that, but of course, given the type of unit this is as a standalone, probably not going to. You're probably honestly serving this as more of a liability than a benefit to include this guy on a team right now. In terms of link skills, at 100% potential, or level 10 I should say, Cold Judgment is defense increase of 25%, Master of Magic is attack increase of 15%, and all enemies defense minus 10%. More Than Meets the Eye is attack and defense increase of 10%. And Telekinesis is all enemies defense minus 20%. Now, unfortunately, the categories are a little bit limited for this unit, where it's only Realm of Gods, Majin Buu Saga, and the Pattaya category. I did think about going with potentially the Majin Buu Saga, to be honest with you, but I decided to ultimately go with the Realm of Gods because there are units like the Supreme Kai, which is also another free-to-play unit, and the Supreme Kai at Time. By including units like that on a team, you're pretty much able to maximize your link set, but also be provided the passive support through either of those units. Now, as you saw, at 100% potential, the HP is 12,182, attack is 9,228, and defense is 6,998. 12 key multiplier is pretty low at 125%, but it is what it is. It's one of those Baba Shop units. Nobody in their right mind would honestly get to 100% potential, let alone go through the link level grind after that. So I don't know, potentially we are starting to see glimpses of units in the Baba Shop, exchangeability to get those Dokkan Awakenings. There's been several that has happened so far, so honestly at some point it'll happen for this guy. Now, I haven't really kept tabs of like Dragon Ball Super's manga lately or anything, but I guess like people are speculating that this might have not been necessarily all completely wasted because of, the stuff going on there, whatever, with the potential Dokkan Awakening for this unit. Again, I don't really follow the DBS mangas as closely as, some of the other guys do, so I've been a little bit out of the loop, but, it's funny because I made a post on Twitter, and that was kind of some of the comments that I saw on there. But either way, at this point in time, this guy is pretty useless. There's really no benefit bringing this unit on. The link sets, I mean, they're okay as long as you bring in certain types of units, but given the fact that it is a unit dated back to 2016, a JP came out on May 31st of 16, and then Global came out on December 1st of 2016, so it's been 5 years since this unit's been out, and no single improvement since then, so obviously a little bit outdated to say the least. But I think, there's still ways to have fun in the game, you know what I mean? And rainbowing trash to me is a lot of fun. Yeah, does it take resources and time? Absolutely. In some cases, it's a complete waste of time. Like this one right now, at this point, I would equate it to a complete waste of time, because you're really not going to see much benefit after going through the link level grind, let alone going through the process of exchanging incredible gems and also going through the super attack and whatnot. So yeah, it's certainly not a good use of your time at this point, but it's pretty damn hilarious though at the same time. So I think it's perfectly okay. You know what I mean? So ultimately, I think a couple of upgrades definitely do need to happen if this guy does get a TUR state. Of course, the damage multiplier with the super attack has to be updated to Supreme. I think lowering defense, it's okay to leave it as that for now. Obviously, it'd be nice if it was improved to greatly lowering defense, but I don't really necessarily see that happening. But it really does depend. I mean, some of these TURs that they've come out with, they've made them pretty broken, so they could surprise us with that for this guy too. We'll move it. Let's just move on. Passive skill, of course, is just a flat out HP of 2,000 recovery for every intelligence key sphere obtained. Obviously, this would probably increase to, I would say, 3,000 probably, to be honest with you, and then they'll slap on other skill sets, like maybe hopefully like an attack and defense percentage increase, along with some of the what, honestly, on top of that, I could totally see them including a secondary passive where he'll randomly change a type of key into intelligence type key to make it a little bit easier to get that HP recovery from the skill set. I could totally see that happening. Probably similar to some of the Ribian units where it's going to be a combination of some offense and defensive capabilities, but more centered around the supporting function of recovering HP. I could probably see that happening, to be honest with you. And links might not necessarily change, but at least they'll slap on shattering the limit, so that'll help with the key boost a little bit. But outside of that, I really don't see much improvement coming out of this guy, even with a Dokkan Awakening. But I say that now, but sometimes they really do come out with some very, very strong TUR states versus their UR states. So anything can happen. Just don't know when it'll happen exactly. But again, the point is they have started making the Dokkan Awakenings for the Baba Shop units. So chances are at some point it'll happen. It's just a matter of when. And when it does, we'll see if it was worth going through the process or not. I personally feel like it's probably not, but it's perfectly fine. I didn't do that for that. I did it for the entertainment value anyway. I don't know, maybe I should go back and test it out on the Majin Buu Saga. It might be interesting to see what kind of link sets that the unit will be able to apply in some of the supporting roles. But to be honest, I mean, when I was team building, it just made the most sense to go with the Realm of God setup, especially given the fact you have a lot of good supports like Topo, Supreme Kai at Time. That not only do have decent link sets shared with the Grand Supreme Kai, but again also ultimately provide a lot of support, whether through key attack or defense or a combination of any of those. So it to me it was more beneficial to go about it that way instead of potentially a Majin Buu Saga or Patara. Either way, I think you would have been able to build a decent enough team, but I feel like Realm of Gods is probably the best tailored fit for this unit in terms of a showcase. So that's probably where I'll leave it for the time being. But this is just another one added to the collection of troll units at 100% potential and max level links. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. I have a couple of units that I've already gone through the link level process. I just haven't showcased yet, but they are in the category classification of the quote-unquote troll units, so certainly be on the lookout for that. I'm kind of on a roll a little bit when it comes to that, just transitioning outside of some of the more powerful units and just covering some of the units that people don't necessarily feel like their time is best allocated toward them, you know what I mean? So we're just having a little fun. It's a year end. 2020 was obviously a pretty crazy year, so I think I'm just trying to, have a little fun the last week of the year and just kind of, work on some of these units and ultimately just, close out the year on a high note, just have fun. So I did post this on Twitter the other day, and it seems like a lot of people seem to kind of enjoy it and at least look forward to it. So hopefully you guys also did enjoy the 100% potential showcase for the free-to-play Grand Supreme Kai on the Realm of Gods category setup with the max level links. So as always, thanks for watching. Until next time, I will catch you guys later.